Just look at this. It's disgusting. This made me wonder, is the Snow-Kissed Kitchen actually up to FDA standards? First, I need to figure out what the FDA regulations actually are. The cleaning regulations for a kitchen to be able to sell food are: 1. There has to be a designated clean spot for each type of food to avoid cross-contamination. 2. Everybody has to have a food handler's permit. And 3. There has to be a general cleaning done before and after food preparation. These are just a few of the points that CDC, or the Center of Disease Control and Prevention, require a kitchen to have in order to be able to sell food to the public. Does the Snow-Kissed Kitchen actually align with CDC requirements? Well, it's got designated spots for preparation of food before, after, and while giving it to students. But I don't know what you have to do to get a food handler's permit, so let's go interview someone and figure that out. You got a food handler's permit, that's right?
I do have a food handler's permit.
What do you have to do in order to get the food handler's permit?
In order to get the food handler's permit, you have to take a lot of tests, foodborne illnesses, things that can infect your food and cause you to get sick.
So you have to learn the illnesses. You like school lunch?
Oh, that's kind of complicated, you see. Now, I of course have a couple allergies.
Now, we don't have time to hear Sam's explanation about all of his allergies. We just have to go interview the lunch ladies. So let's get going.
And that can be a real problem sometimes because all food has some sort of sweetener, corn and all.
How do you guys keep the kitchen clean while you're making food for students?
We sweep if we have crumbs on the floor, and we wipe up any spills or anything like that. Make sure that everything is cleaned and sanitized.
According to FDA regulations, there has to be a general cleaning both before and after preparation of food. What products do you use?
We use a brand called from Ecolab, and they provide us with like a detergent for the dishes and then like a sanitized cleaning for all of our pots and everything. We have them in spray bottles and in buckets.
If there was anything you'd like to do to keep the kitchen more clean at all, what would you want to do?
I like to use bleach, especially with our floors. We deep clean the kitchens at least twice a year. We scrub the floors with a scrubber and all that kind of stuff, and we make sure all the cracks and everything don't have food that's stuck in them or anything, so we get like all the little fine tools and start cleaning it like that.
With that deep cleaning, do you just like clean off all the surfaces and inside of everything as well?
Take apart like the ovens, we take out the racks and we run it through the dishwasher, put a degreaser in there and make sure that those are clean and everything, and then with our warmer, the same thing along with the steamer, pretty much take them apart, make sure that everything's clean like that. Why should we even care about the cleanliness of kitchens?
Food poisoning.
Side effects of food poisoning include stomach pain, diarrhea, cramps, nausea, vomiting, and fever. These can be life-threatening if you've had these for too long. So, we definitely don't want to get food poisoning. We can't talk about the kitchen without talking to the janitors. How do you clean the kitchen during the summer?
Depends on what part needs to be cleaned. Start from top to the bottom. We start with the lights, dust remove, grease spill. Try to remove all the grease first. Into a simple clean, then disinfect.
If there's anything that you'd like to do to keep kitchen cleaner, what would you do?
It's a tough question because it depends on the volume of kids. Hard to control. Menu items, date directed. Really hard to know how to control that differently. Number one is if they could get enough help. The food stream wants to help out during the process. I really think they need more help.
We're on our way to go interview the principal because we need to see what his idea of having a cleaner kitchen is as well. If there was something that you could do to make the school kitchen a cleaner place, what would you do?
Well, I think the only thing I could add would maybe be a hand sanitizing station as students walk in to get their food, so they could be nice and fresh and clean, because it's already pretty dang clean over there.
The kitchen's being cleaned a lot already, but there's always more that you can do. But not many people even care whether the kitchen is being cleaned or not. They don't care where their food is prepared, and that's a problem. We're gonna ask some of the students at Weber High if they think that their food is cooked in a clean kitchen.
I don't care if it's being cooked well or not, just as long as it's not being cooked by clankers!
I don't eat school lunch.
Okay.
Well, I'm eating it, so I don't really care.
But do you think it's being cooked in a clean kitchen?
Probably.
Alright.
Sickness and food poisoning is a risk we take anytime we go out to eat. But there are ways to avoid this just by looking at your food. Let's go to Wendy's. This is a Wendy's burger. To me, it doesn't look that bad, any more than a Wendy's burger looks already. One of the most common ways of getting food illness is by not looking at your food and eating something that is gross. The best way to check your burger or any other food is to just open it up, look, and make sure that there's no mold or anything inside. Mold is one of the most common things that people eat to get sick, and it's pretty easy to spot. If we all just check before we eat our food, we should be able to reduce food illness by a whole lot. So now we've learned how to check our food to make sure that there's no mold or anything gross inside of it.
But we still know that we're taking a risk whenever we're eating at a restaurant or anywhere where we don't know exactly what is going on when the food's being prepared. But the chance of you getting sick from a restaurant is still quite low. Sanitization is used all of the time, and even if kitchens look gross, they're usually being cleaned still. And they try to keep your food safe, especially since they don't want to get sued. But that'll keep you safe and healthy. And if you're so paranoid about this, just don't go out to eat. According to Gale One File, YouTube is a great place to learn about food poisoning and foodborne illnesses. So if you want to learn more, just try YouTube. Turns out the Snoker's Kitchen was following all FDA standards. Big surprise? Not really, actually. When I was going into the kitchen, I realized that there were 2 certifications by the door. One certification says that it's been checked and it's up to FDA standards. The other one says that I think the other one says almost the exact same thing. The Snoker's Kitchen is up to FDA standards, and it has been certified, and everyone working there has a food handler's permit. But the kitchen is still dirty in some places, and FDA regulations are a guideline for the basic cleanings and everything else the lunch ladies have to do, or the kids. And I know that the lunch ladies work hard there, but there's always more stuff to do. There's always a risk when you're eating out anywhere. There always will be. So if you're ever eating out, you just have to know that there's a risk. Now that picture you saw earlier of the dirty glass, that picture was just the glass. Inside, it's actually quite clean. So this kitchen is actually up to FDA standards.
Oh, come on!
Just a few of the points that the CDC, or the Centers of Disease Control, we have to go interview the lunch lady.
I looked
But why should we even care about the cleanliness? Whoa.